Powered by the Montana Television Network. Montana This Morning continues on Montana's News Leader.
Voters in Arizona and Florida went to the polls yesterday. I'm John Schumo with a look at how these primary results may change the political landscape in November.
Bozeman High School has a new program this year that's going to increase the adult presence within the school. I'm Emma Hamilton in Bozeman, and I'll have the details for you coming up next.
6:30 on this Wednesday. Missy O'Malley is off. Matt Elwell has our forecast in a moment. Meantime, our top story this half hour, primaries in Florida and Arizona showcase the influence of President Trump. Democrats now hope they can rally support against president's candidates, try to make history. CBS's John Schumo has the details.
All right. Are y'all ready to flip Florida blue?
Tallahassee Mayor Andrew Gillum scored the upset of the night when he won the Democratic primary in Florida's race for governor.
I humbly accept the Democratic nomination.
Gillum, a favorite of the progressive wing of the party, would become Florida's first black governor. He's now facing Republican Congressman Ron DeSantis, who credited President Trump for his victory last night.
But I did have support from someone in Washington. If you walk down Pennsylvania Avenue, he lives in the White House with the pillars in front of it.
I gave him a nice shot and a nice little tweet, bing, bing. And he went from 3 to like 20-something.
President Trump also notched a victory with Rick Scott. The current Florida governor won the Republican primary for Senate. He'll face incumbent Democrat Bill Nelson in one of the country's most hotly contested races.
It's difficult to celebrate anything this week as we mourn the loss of Senator McCain.
The president's sway was also seen in Arizona, where the 3 GOP candidates for Senate align themselves more with him than the late Senator John McCain or retiring Senator Jeff Flake.
I've worked closely with President Trump.
Congresswoman Martha McSally will face Democratic Congresswoman Kyrsten Sinema. John Schumo, CBS News.
Now, late Tuesday night, the president tweeted, Martha McSally running in the U.S. primary for U.S. Senate was endorsed by rejected Senator Jeff Flake and turned it down, a first. Now Martha, a great U.S. military fighter jet pilot and highly respected member of Congress, wins big. Congratulations, and on to November. Next week, Arizona Governor Doug Ducey, who is facing his own tough re-election in November, will appoint a Republican replacement for Senator McCain's seat. So more politics to follow, of course. 6:32 now, Matt. Brisk in the south end of the Gallatin County area.
We've been in the 20s for West Yellowstone this morning. Most of us dealing with cooler temperatures. Wow. 38 in Butte, 41 in Belgrade, still 28 in West this morning. And clear skies, the big culprit for that. The clear skies allowing the temperatures to really drop pretty quickly. That cooler air settling into a lot of the valleys. Mainly dealing with daytime highs into the upper 70s for the afternoon. Our rain chances are pretty slim, but we do have them. We'll break them all down for you coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Matt. 6:33 now. Top local story. Butte police are asking for your help to identify a man who allegedly stole money from 2 Butte hotels. Police say this man stole more than $250 from the front desks of the Holiday Inn Express on Harrison Avenue and the Fairfield Inn on Cornell Avenue on Friday evening. In both cases, the man distracted the employee at the front desk by telling them the ice machine was broken, then took the cash when they left the desk. Anyone with information is asked to call the Butte Silver Bowl Police Department 497-1120. Shifting gears a bit in Montana's U.S. Senate race, outside groups are producing multiple TV ads going after Democratic incumbent Jon Tester. TN's Mike Dennison has done some fact-checking and files our report.
Which of these has voted against President Trump more than 60% of the time? All of them. The more you learn about the real Jon Tester, the more you realize he may look like Montana, but he votes like them.
That's an ad from the National Republican Senatorial Committee, which works to elect Republicans and defeat Democrats in U.S. Senate races across the country. The theme of these attacks? Democrat Tester is a closet liberal dedicated to opposing President Trump. Tester has opposed the president and the GOP on some key issues. He voted against the Republican tax cut bill last year, against repealing Obamacare, and against Supreme Court nominee Neil Gorsuch. But Congressional Quarterly, which tracks all votes in Congress, says Tester supported the president on 52% of votes where Trump took a position in 2017, more than many other Democrats did. Trump also has signed into law 18 bills sponsored by Tester. Here's more similar charges.
Jon Tester says he's a Montana moderate, but he turned liberal, voting with Nancy Pelosi for EPA regulations that hurt Montana farmers. Turned liberal with Bernie Sanders, voting to put illegal aliens over sick kids in Montana.
That's from the Senate Reform Fund, a group yet to report the source of its $1.4 million in spending against Tester this summer. Tester did vote in 2015 and 2016 against lifting a new rule regulating water that many in agriculture opposed. The vote with Sanders was against a short-term budget deal this January that Tester said he opposed because a long-term fix was needed. And then there's this ad from the Club for Growth, a group big on tax cuts and less government.
Tester promised not to take any lobbyist gifts or special interest paid travel, but Tester broke his promise and accepted expensive international travel, including a trip to Cancun.
That Cancun trip, Tester and his wife went there on vacation in 2015 with fellow U.S. Senator Claire McCaskill, who invited them and paid for the trip. As for international travel, Tester did go to Israel in 2013 on a fact-finding mission, funded by a pro-Israel nonprofit group that has hosted numerous members of Congress. You'll be hearing this theme often. Tester, the liberal turncoat who can't be trusted. We'll be doing what we can this campaign season to report on his actual record, and you can decide for yourself how much of these charges are true, an exaggeration, or just plain false. Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
By the way, you can see Mike Dennison's detailed analysis of these ads by visiting our websites. Well, highway construction in Butte will force the closure of Santa Claus Road that connects Butte with Rocker. The road will be closed today through Friday, then again September 5th and 6th of next week. This is to allow crews to set beams for the city center exit ramp, which will go over Santa Claus Road. Montana Department of Transportation is making improvements to Interstate 1590 that runs through Butte over the next 2 years. In the Gallatin Valley, Bozeman High School has a new volunteer program going on this year. MTN's Emma Hamilton has a story on how it will benefit the schools.
After the school shootings in Florida and Texas earlier this year, a group of parents in Bozeman came together to brainstorm how they could increase safety in the high school. They decided that increased adult presence could be helpful. Now, the high school has community members greeting students in the morning, at lunch, and at the end of the day.
And for us, this is a good way, to try to keep it positive, try to show students that we're thinking about them. We want them to feel comfortable. School should be all about teaching and learning, coming to school without fear of violence.
Increasing the presence is comforting to parents.
Knowing that there's community members here supporting teachers and the amazing staff and administrators here to welcome these kids, be another adult presence in the school feels absolutely amazing and really reassuring.
Added benefit of having more vigilance in the school, visibility, and we just hope that they help create a positive atmosphere for us and deter bad behavior.
This volunteer program doesn't only increase the safety at the high school, but also gives the kids a warm, smiling face to say hello to.
Even though it's early in the school year, it's already making a difference.
On the first day of school, it was really cold and rainy. And there was one of the students here was new to town. She'd never lived in Bozeman before. It was her first day of freshman year. She was sitting outside under an eave in the rain having lunch. She really didn't know anybody. And one of our parents was able to go out and just say hello and greet her and check in with her and really change the course of her day by just connecting. That makes all the difference.
The administration and staff appreciate having more adults in the building.
But just more eyes. It's a big, sprawling campus. We know that. It's a big place. We have over 2,200 students. So, we'll take all the help we can get.
In Bozeman, Emma Hamilton, MTN News.
Now, Emma adds, even though this is currently only at the high school, the district says it hopes it's something that spreads to other schools in the future. If anyone wants to volunteer, you can email them bhshawksquad@gmail.com. We're going to take a quick break here on Montana This Morning. When we come back, just wait until after the holiday. That might be the best advice when it comes to pulling up to the pump. We have the details. But first, here's the details of what's coming up at 7 on CBS This Morning.
Good morning. Ahead on CBS This Morning, thousands are expected to honor Senator John McCain today as he lies in state at the Arizona Capitol. Hear from a former POW who shared a cell block in Vietnam with the late senator. And we're going to take you on a run with the first American woman to win the New York City Marathon in 40 years. Shalane Flanagan explains how changing her diet helped prolong her running career. We'll see you guys right at 7.